That's right, we've got one more best of one here on the B stream, guys. Welcome back as we get into OpTic against OG. VP have wiped the floor with absolutely everyone. Yeah, that's a mop or a shovel. I don't know, digging a grave or cleaning.
It's a mop. Yeah.
Both of them at the same time. But we're going to move into OpTic against OpTic against OG because EG are out. I've got them on my mind as well. There's a lot of teams that are underperforming.
There are a lot of teams that has a G in their name as well, which goes for a gaming, whether you believe it or not. So we have OG against the OG, green against the blue, sharks against the grass, chameleon. I don't know. So
sharks against grass. I think grass wins.
Not the seagrass though.
No.
If sharks decides to eat it,
what happens?
Probably shark wins. So let's get back into this draft, Gary. That's what matters. Leshrac banned from OpTic Gaming. No surprise there. As for really excels on that hero, Kunkka also banned out.
10 seconds remaining.
What OG did in their previous match, the tri-lane with Kunkka, that was not really effective. Kunkka relies so much on getting the XP, that's solo XP, so he can get the levels in the Tidebringer and his other spells.
And the talents, like you were mentioning.
Yes.
Getting to level 10 is pretty important. So very, very different from OG. Taking up the Gyro Naga, so they've got team fight, they've got laning potential. But this is the first time I think I've seen Night Stalker in a draft picked, because he has been banned first phase, I think, in all of our games so far.
Yeah, I think so too. He's banned more than 90% of the time. He's really great at dual laning. He's great as an off-laner as well. When you have dual lanes, he has a lot of armor, good kill potential after the 4-minute mark. If he's played as an off-laner, he doesn't move from his lane. He just keeps dominating the lane. When he moves is the second Knight. That's when he excels the most. So DP, Night Stalker, a lot of vision. With these two, we're going to have Gyro and Naga on another side. Gyro, no surprise there. He's one of the heroes that deals a ton of magical damage early on and can easily transition into the late game carry. Also one of the carries that can easily just TP to the side lane. Just go for the tower. So you need to be careful about the diving. A lot of damage coming out from that flag cannon.
It's definitely super early tempo, right? We used to see very often heroes like Lifestealer, like Juggernaut banned out when you picked Gyro this early on. Is that something that OG has to be afraid of here? Is that magic immunity annoying up-in-your-face heroes? Because they've banned Underlord and Broodmother.
Radiant team pick.
Broodmother is a surprisingly good ban here. We know that 33 loves to play it, and he plays it in a different style than what other Broodmother players do. He builds what his team needs. I remember one of the games when he builds drums, Helm of the Dominator, and goes for straight pipe.
Yeah.
Because if they have a lot of magical damage, your spiders are gonna die. And if you pop the... if you pop the pipe, you're just keeping them alive for a very long time. So this could be a really strong dual lane already. Night Stalker and Jakiro. A lot of slow, a lot of sustain. Both of these heroes have high HP at the start and a lot of armor.
So what, Night Stalker's 5 armor and like 700 HP. Jakiro, I think he's got 3 armor.
5 seconds
Their
remaining.
HP got lowered, right? A little bit. The intelligence heroes, even though Jakiro was one of the highest ones. He has a lot of strength gain.
Well, they're still definitely both very, very tanky together.
What do you think? Which head is smarter, the fire one or the ice?
Ice.
Why? You were
Cool,
so
calm,
calm.
collected.
All right. What about Ogre's head?
Oh. I mean, they're both equally intelligent. Or both equally stupid. You're looking at Ogre now.
Yeah, the left one seems a bit more childish. Look at his
Yeah, the open mouth,
fancy
slack jaw,
glasses,
the
open
goggles.
mouth. Yeah.
You can't see it, but Lacoste's got his Ogre cosmetics open on the other screen. Back to this draft, Lacoste. Focus, focus. Beastmaster DK removed by OpTic. Some of those good group up and push tower heroes that allow OG to play together as a team. But I just like the way that OpTic here, from the POS 5 on that Jakiro, you've got that liquid fire pushing power, along with the DP, and trading or trying to, defend towers or fight into OpTic. it's going to be a little difficult. You need that setup. You need the Naga level 6. You're going to need this Gyro to have a good lane, I think, is one of the key things here. We've seen Gyros, fall behind, have their jungle warded, not able to come back through stacks if the aggression is too much. And with a Chen, it's going to really alleviate a lot of that pressure early on and secure at least 1 or 2 of your lanes.
I think the reason why they picked Naga Siren is because of the death profit. You can keep her in place with ulti. If you don't want to take that fight, she pops the ulti. You just go back. They can't do anything about it. Also, she's really good against the Roche. If the OpTic Gaming decides to go for a Roche, you can always use the sleep, death profit.
5 seconds remaining.
Spirits can kill the Roche and you just pick up the Aegis. Also, really good against the Night Stalker. Provides a lot of vision during the mid game with all these illusions. So vision game is strong for both of these teams already.
Tell me, Lacoste, how do you deal with Chen? Because OG and OpTic both struggled against VP to handle Roger's movements and the big creep armies. What does OpTic do here to stop that lane pressure or just handle him somehow?
If they can survive the early stage and have the first Nightfall with the Night Stalker Jakiro, Chen is going to feel really vulnerable at that point. You can just run at him. So they just need to not feed away too many kills early on. Or if they're not going to run that dual lane, just try to evade Chen, not feed on that lane, focus on winning 2 other lanes.
So don't feed.
Exactly.
Don't feed is the answer to
That's the number
Chen.
1 rule.
The number
And
one
always
rule
have a
don't
TP.
do. Always have a TP and don't feed. Oh, OpTic out with the Tusk. So it looks like Night Stalker Pos 3 with Jakiro Tusk is there. 2 supports there, leaving potentially Pajkatt's hero as the last one to come out. OG have got to start deciding where they want to head. Is this an offlane Naga?
Yeah,
Or
somehow it feels like it. Since they
Yeah.
picked it, I feel that it could be an offlane Naga. I can't explain why. It's one of those feelings that you just think that something is because you don't know what they're going to pick anyways.
Like for me, it was when the Chen was picked, and it was like, Chen Naga? Is that a thing? I guess it could be if you're running these dual lanes. Give Gyro levels in a safe lane, have Chen come in from time to time. Naga helps out a little bit here and there. But I don't know. Feels a little bit strange.
They could get an offlaner that builds into a Blade Mail. I love what the Team Spirit is doing. They're picking Skywrath Mage and Axe whenever they can. I think I talked a little bit about it yesterday. The amount of the damage that you have and harassment is just way too good. And you always have that AoE call that pierces through the BKB. Once you have a Blade Mail, you just scale so well into the late game with that kind of a build.
Ember Spirit.
So
Ember.
not too much counters for Ember, even though you have a Night Stalker silence, Death Prophet silence. So you can already start thinking about the build that you want to go on Ember Spirit. Yule Scepter seems really fine this game. You can dodge Snowball, remove those silences.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it seems pretty good. And it brings you so much magic damage, and it's another one of those heroes that can potentially shift gear from magic early into physical later on. Very similar to the Gyro. It's also that catch ability, though. Being able to chase people down, hunt the DP and burst her in the middle of her ulti. Always very important.
They still think it's going to be an offlane hero. Enigma banned out. Good ban because they have nothing that pierces through Enigma's BKB so far. Besides, let's say, Tusk positioning himself well from behind.
Ether Lens and Aghanims for Tusk.
10 seconds remaining.
Get that punch and the kick going. So Pajkatt hero that OG needs to ban out here. Is this another game where you're scared of a void? Against the Ember, against the Gyro, Macropyre, Exorcism.
Oh, yes.
Into the
That's
Chrono.
Ideal Faceless Void game. They should ban it out. Good call, Gary.
Thanks, Lacoste. I've been learning. I've been listening to what you've been saying.
Turn to pick.
Exactly. There it goes.
So what do OG want? Do we know? Can you guess OG's last pick?
I need to see the heroes.
I mean, it's JerAx Chen. I just don't.
I don't think
feel
it's going to be
Naga's
Naga offlane anymore.
I just don't know if Naga's a fly hero. That's the one thing that's kind of in my head is
10
JerAx
seconds
Chen
remaining.
and Naga for who?
Radiant team
Final pick for OG is Disruptor, so it looks like it will be The offlane Naga Siren. Maybe it's a no-tail. Maybe it's a no-tail Naga.
Yes, they can run that. No-tail played the carry Naga. But there's a lot of ways to build Naga. Not necessarily. The last time I saw carry Naga was during MDL Changsha Major. It's not very effective. It was more 4 Protect 1. Naga Siren went for the Radiance, the classic old school
5
build.
seconds remaining.
It didn't do anything. She was just dragging out the game. The game was pretty much over.
Okay.
And it doesn't feel like she scales well with those items anymore.
Yeah, still seems very easy to pick off.
I think they need some AoE clear, maybe something that builds into the Battle Fury, since they know that it's Naga Siren as a carry or an offlane. So really versatile ways to build Naga Siren. Maybe something that clears the waves, clears the illusions quickly.
What about a Sven here? I feel like a Sven with like the physical damage up against the Ember Spirit, the Gyro, the Blink Stun and Catch. You've got a face that doesn't like the idea.
No, because you're kind of useless with the Warcry. Everything they have so far is magical.
You may now
I wasn't
select
expecting that
your
one.
heroes.
Pajkatt Night Stalker. I mean, Night Stalker has some pretty sick talents for the physical right clicks, but a 3-3 Visage, so they're swapping things around a little bit here. There will be a no-tail Naga as well. This is quite the draft.
That's definitely a mid Visage, or could be an offlane Visage. Sorry, because they have a Death Prophet, but most of the time when 33 plays the Visage, it's mid. But I saw him playing the offlane as well.
Is there any particular matchup here that OpTic want to avoid or want to get?
Give me a couple of seconds, Gary.
Okay, sure enough.
10 seconds.
S4
remaining.
Ember Spirit, that's going to be big. So that leaves Seb on the Gyrocopter.
5 seconds remaining.
Just thinking how they set up their lanes. Dire side OG. I mean, do they go maybe like an aggro 2.5 lane with Chen in the Radiant jungle, Fly and No-Tail bottom lane? That would leave S4. Yeah, that would leave like any way you put this, you don't want to put a 1v1 against the Visage, right?
Yes, exactly. That's what
That's
I'm
the issue.
thinking. If you just help one of the lanes and leave anyone outside of OG solo against a hero like a Visage, I don't think that's good. Maybe besides Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit does fine. We'll have to see, Gary, what other teams have planned up. We have Sharks against... Give me a green animal, something scary.
An alligator.
Sounds good.
There we go. Better than the grass. Deary me.
Prepare for battle.
Away we go. S4 immediately getting tipped. So what are we setting up with? Seb and JerAx up towards top. The Gyro Chen back in the base. Big Daddy No-Tail is on that Naga Siren. Actually moving in towards mid. So S4 and Fly are left with the Ember Disruptor. Angling for that bottom lane, but you know, OpTic is... They've got one of these drafts that I don't feel they need to get info from OG. It's OG that want to try and find out where OpTic are laning and try and work around it. So top lane Zai and 3-3, the Tusk and the Visage. And the mid DP, of course, for CCnC and Pajkatt. Down at bottom with the carry Night Stalker. I mean, let's take a look at his talents to start off with. 200 health, 15 strength, 50 damage, and then 140 attack speed. Hunter in the night, if he decides to go that route.
Yes, that's pretty much the only route you can go for when you're playing the Night Stalker, even as position 4. The other talents are not picked up that often. Cast range, 200 mana. I mean, HP and strength is always going to be better. I've seen level 20 Night Stalkers picking up movement speed sometimes when you're playing position 4, just so you can move faster during the daytime and be not a wheelchair hero.
The battle begins.
Try and get that catch onto people. Bounty runes being grabbed up by OG. 3 for them. Zai takes the one he can up towards top, and already some very cool little wards coming out from OG. Lane ward up top, watching into the side shop and down with a nice cone of vision, watching for that Visage and the Tusk. No wards in the mid lane, but they do have one down towards bottom. But I don't believe it sees the rune. It doesn't see the rune. Anyway, it's immediately dewarded by PPD, so it doesn't matter what it can see or not, because it's already dead.
No Daddy Big Tail on the mid lane using Mirror Image.
He just winked
Just
at
a
me.
farm up.
Lacoste just winked at me. I feel strange inside. Oh, no, Daddy Big Tail. Dearie me. What a man you are.
You can see the difference between Tusk's build since the newest patch. He's not going for that Orb of Venom. I see more Tusk getting that Stout Shield because these dual lanes, and he's the one tanking the damage, so he's gonna mitigate a lot of the damage with this damage block.
How's this bottom lane going for them? Pajkatt and PPD are pretty much out of mana on the Jakiro, spamming out every single spell they can. Fly on this Disruptor, trying to keep S4 in the lane, but Night Stalker at 7-1. Definitely out-CSing his lane opponent, while mid lane, 3-2 No-Tail, 4-2 DP. Things evening out a little bit at this point, as No-Tail will bring out the Wraith Band to help out with some of that CS. But it's the top lane, really, where JerAx has gone for Penitence level 1.
Yeah, he was at the lane. He can't do anything for the first minute until the creeps spawn, so he was just harassing with the penance and the right clicks. Okay, he needs to kill one more. Stacking the creep camp. This is a good mud golem. This is being body blocked by Visage and Tusk.
Well, he hits level 2, leeching off that top lane. Here we go.
Harpy.
The Harpy Stormcrafter again. The dual lane Slayer. Bottom lane looks fine, mid lane's okay. S4 has switched in there though as the snowball dodge on the homing missile. Zai shards up, gets away from the rocket barrage, but zap and Zai unfortunately being
just
chased
zap
back.
him, courier. Alright. He was trying to get the last hit, the gyro, but Harpy Slayer says it's my time to shine.
So they do move the Naga into the Disruptor lane here to try and maybe harass Pajkatt with the Riptide a little better. But this puts S4 into a lane against CCnC, who is out-leveling him by a good, 1 and a bit levels already. In top lane, Seb, snowballed upon, Zai is here, the zaps coming out from the little Harpy, but the send back from JerAx will be successful. No follow-through damage onto Zai as he salves back up. JerAx and Seb unfortunately can't get the takedown there, adding another kill to their tally, but they make sure Zai is forced to use some regen.
JerAx got the quick level 3, which means that he's gonna have 2 creeps. Wild Wing Ripper. They can keep pressuring that lane. Yeah, CCnC on the mid lane though. He's 1.5 level above Ember Spirit. Bottle was coming to Ember Spirit, but not quick enough.
It's a real hard lane for S4. And no Spirit Siphons for a while for CCnC though, so a little bit of respite there for the Ember as the bottle will, of course, like you say, come out towards him. JerAx, Penitence onto 3-3 with the Tornado. Very irritating, chipping away through the Gravekeeper's cloak. Doesn't care about those stacks. Not enough damage to trigger them. S4. Searing Chains there to stop CCnC from chasing. Just look at that damage though with a double null. Fairy Fire obviously adding in a little bit as well. If he gets a Spirit Siphon, S4 could quite easily die there. But Hastrun will refill his bottle quite nicely and he can return back to lane. Maybe even find a kill himself down at bottom if he decides to swing there. But experience feels much more important for him right now. He wants to get back in towards mid as that wave pushes in towards his tower.
They need to be really careful on the bottom lane. Night Stalker is level 4, 10 magic sticks, boots, no points in the Crippling Fear yet, but he's so speedy, like you can't get caught out of position. He can easily get a kill. That's a triple slow if you combine that with Jakiro spells. And as steeping top.
Yeah, Tusk snowball dodged the homing missile, they still get the kill, but like you say, Pajkatt has TP'd here. The send back from Chen looks like it'll get him out of danger as 3-3 being chased back by the Stormcrafter and the Penitence damage. It's been amped up, but it's not going to be enough quite yet. JerAx turned around on 3-3. He's going to sacrifice his life for this kill as Pajkatt clears up 2 in a row. But a killing spree for JerAx. A nice bit of money goes the way of Pajkatt. Almost 500, in fact, from the Chen. Bounty runes have spawned, and now it's time to run across the map and grab them all up.
Pajkatt only killed 1. Gyrocopter was sent back by a Chen. Still decent amount of gold for him. 2 bounty runes and a kill for almost 500, which gave Jakiro some solo XP on the bottom lane. They should have played aggressive, but they have no mana.
They have very limited damage as well. In Notail here, 302 is his build with those illusions. Chasing PPD with the Riptide there, the damage under this tower. They need a few more hits, but Notail's tanking it up. Illusions will chase PPD, and they finally get the kill. Notail with no TP scroll, though. There's no one reacting, there's no one coming. 3-3 is killed off JerAx, and Notail, he's out.
Notail had no mana, so Fly used one mango on himself and one mango on Naga, so she would have enough damage to use the Riptide. Enough mana, sorry.
In the meanwhile, 3-3 killed off JerAx top lane, as we saw on the kill feed. PPD reasserts his dominance bottom lane, though, and Notail with no stick, no regen, no life. Pajkatt and PPD. This bottom lane is pretty annoying here for OG, as this POS1 Naga Siren, a slow starter by all definitions of the term.
The problem for OG is the mid lane. S4 is level 4. And you have CCnC, who's almost level 8. That's gonna be huge. Still no points in Exorcism. She's just pushing out the lane. Not sure if she's gonna get... Yeah, she's gonna get enough XP if he doesn't deny anything to get to level 8 and use the Exorcism. Siege creep is there.
I mean, Fly is here behind him, but he can't do anything. S4 just drops HP incredibly quickly. Treads up on CCnC. Giving that nice bit of attack speed to chip away at the tower. Try and keep the catapult alive with the Fortify, and in comes this big bad Tusk. Spirit Siphon and Exorcism for the additional damage there, and S4 chased back behind his tier 1. And that should be the first objective of the game for OpTic as they take that tower down.
I love what Enes did. He even rotated mid. His full urn was flying to him, and he got the charge, which increases his kill potential by a lot.
It looks like he might grab one here, in fact. Flies next to the shrine. Popping it, I don't think it's going to do much. Or maybe he changes back onto Zai. Snowball's ready, though, and this will buy the time he needs. Thunderstrike keeps on going, but it has now worn off, and Zai healed up. No TPs, no reaction from OG. As they keep themselves elsewhere on these lanes, they're now coming in to try and catch Zai with a homing missile chasing. I think that should be the end of him as Notail secures the kill.
Zai had no boots there, so no ways he's going to escape. Meanwhile, CCnC died to Gyro.
PPD gets himself just behind the trees, but here comes the darkness with the urn. Zai. Snowball will move forward, but the homing missile chases, and now the Tusk caught donked. The raindrop pops, but Seb is very low. The backstab from Pajkatt. If he can catch here, no urn charges, but he's got so much damage with the void. The physical right clicks from those phase boots damage as well. Pajkatt a couple of hits away, or one void is all he needs, but the kinetic field holds him in place and forces him to run back. And now CCnC, it's his turn to come in and battle. Big Daddy's got nothing left in the tank, so the snowball forward from Zai will grab him and take the kill.
I'm not sure why Enes was so afraid to start the fight. They had no mana. Gyro had like 0 mana at that point. He was really afraid.
And they've got a shrine to fall back on as well. But yeah, it felt like OpTic may be wondering if S4 or JerAx are lurking in the back. Neither of them really showing on the lanes, but both of them pretty much back in the jungle, trying to farm up their levels. Do have a medallion and level 6 on JerAx here, so things could start to pick up for OG if they decide to go and utilize this cooldown, shove in the top tier 1. But you're having to deal with this 3-3 Visage now with familiars up, or at least one familiar up, as it seems he has lost one somewhere along the way.
They want to get a kill on him.
He's speedy though. With that Gravekeeper's Cloak, he's actually able to tank up the majority of the damage, and the Snowball save in from Zai. Sprinting forward, they'll kill off 3-3, and Zai might give away his life as well. The attempted save gives the 2 for nothing.
Even with the missed Searing Chains, they still get the kill. The Region rune just spawned, the other runes as well. Tome. Disruptor needs to buy one, he just bought it. He's kind of under level 4 only. Who's going to buy it on the side of OpTic? Tusk probably needs one, but has no gold.
Jakiro's level 6.
Yeah, Jakiro has been left on the bottom lane alone since Night Stalker TP top. He was getting a lot of XP.
And what's Notail queuing up? Notail's going for the Meteor Hammer. And he's got that Ring of Aquila as well. So we might be seeing that little trick that people have been posting about on Reddit with that tick perfect little play as Seb, Hand of God, keeps him up and running for a couple of seconds longer. But with those familiars flying over, the damage too substantial for Gyro to handle. So as far as I know, with the Aquila, Song, and Meteor Hammer, you shift Q the Aquila, toggle it on and off 3 times, I believe, to force the server ticks to time the Meteor Hammer to land after the song ends.
There is some next level stuff, Gary. I don't know how someone thinks of that. Like,
Dire's middle tower
toggle Aquila for whatever reason. This blows my mind. The stuff like this.
Yeah, because we saw it last night. I can't remember who was playing, but we saw. Oh, it was
OG Gaming, yeah,
it was
Young 11.
Young 11, absolutely. He did it, and I was like, that was pretty perfect. I thought they changed that, but I didn't understand what had happened until I read Reddit a bit later on. And PPD glimpsed back into the arms of Big Daddy. Penitence is there to slow down and amplify that damage. So yet another kill for OG as they do start to ramp things up with the Chen and Gyro building up this momentum. Maybe a bit of space here for No Tail. Sent back to base to maybe TP top and farm, shove out that wave. But OG definitely looking okay. This is not done and dusted by any means. S4 not looking amazing as he's chased back by Night Stalker and CCnC. And there's the silence into the Spirit Siphon. I think he might just be dead there.
Dire's top tower
And just as I was saying, it doesn't look too bad for OG. They lose that S4 hero.
And they're putting a lot of pressure on the top tower with the Visage. So No Tail actually decided to go for Hood as the first item bottom fight.
Yeah. Pajkatt gets everything thrown into him. They even glimpse back the Jakiro, so the fight cannot continue.
Radiant's
CCnC, though,
is under attack.
coming in from the
Dire's
north.
middle tower
Spots out Seb. Spirit Siphon's there with a Yule Scepter to go as well. Pops the silence onto 2. Fly has kinetic field. CCnC trapped inside. Throws out the Crypt Swarm. And Seb is actually incredibly low, within range of dying if there is an additional OpTic hero arriving. But it's top lane. No Tail and JerAx set up with a song for S4 to kill 3-3.
They have a lot of ways to control these fights. OG's heroes. You have Disruptor, Glimpse,
Dire's
then you
bottom
have
tower is under attack.
Ember Spirit with Searing Chains, setup kills with the Song of the Sirens, the same thing they just did. The problem with this so-called carry Night Stalker is that he scales well with the items, but if you can't find any openings, you're not farming, you're not doing what Night Stalker is supposed to do.
Well, he's finding kills. S4 there, silenced up, snowballed down. Trying to get in towards the Boots of Travel, but back over towards the Dire Ancients area. Chen with all these creeps. Doing a lot of work against CCnC, but now he turns back and fights with a snowball arriving from Zai. Walrus punch up, and PPD down at bottom gets Fly as well.
They don't have any kind of burst damage since Ember Spirit is gone. Disruptor did not use his ulti. I didn't see if it was on cooldown or not, but Death Prophet with Power Treads, more raindrops. This is the second set of raindrops on CCnC, which is pretty smart. She just popped the Exorcism, and this Roche is gonna go down.
Yeah.
Medallion is ready on Visage, plus the birds, more than enough damage.
And the Helm of the Dominator Hellbear with that swiftness aura. But I just want to go back. PPD was here behind tier 2 bottom lane. Killed Fly, who was by his tier 3 with the damage over time, obviously Liquid Fire and Dual Breath. But this PPD Jakiro currently sitting level 9. Arcane Boots up, they snowball forward, but there's no catch there really onto S4. But yeah, PPD is just sitting bot lane, shoving this tower, moving along the lane, forcing OG to keep coming back, defending. And now Fly, he wants to get out on ward, he goes for a very nice TP, but the damage is already dealt. Pajkatt there with a big hit, and 3-3 finds No Tail elsewhere.
This Jakiro plays reminds me when Poppy plays it and when he plays ahead. Even though he has 3 deaths, mana boots, maxes the Liquid Fire because he has a lot of levels. And once he hits that level 10, 30 XP gain, Jakiro is one of the best, maybe just my favorite, because he has both XPM and GPM talent. So he can scale really well. Combine that with his other spells. He provides you so much, especially the zoning tools. With the ulti, his ulti is really not the damage dealing tool, it's more of a zoning. If you combine it with his second spell, he can just zone you out, especially in those clutch places around the Roche pit.
I mean, look at him, he's just very ballsily sitting up on top tier 3. Bottom lane, they're finding a fight. JerAx drops to the Spirit Vessel of Pajkatt. S4 looks like he wants to fight here, but Zai has a snowball. Remnant forward, now turn back. No tail arrives, but the call down is going to be blocked. The first one will land on the snowball, and Pajkatt chased by the homing missile. In comes DP. The TP's from OpTic arriving, and OG diving maybe a little too deep now. CCnC chasing forward onto Seb. And Gyrocopter might be able to get away from this, but I don't think No Tail will have the same luxury. Does have the Song of the Siren here, and no silence available, and that will be the end of the fight. OpTic, I can't really chase any further forward, but in the meantime, again, you look top lane, PPD is still there on the tier 3,
Not
forcing
anymore.
Fly and S4 low on HP. The Catapult trying to chip away at the tier 3, but yeah, like you say, he does finally die.
I love what Pajkatt did. He had ulti ready when he was chasing Naga Siren, but did not want to pop it because he had no follow-up damage, so he's just saving it up. The next night is at what? 16? Okay, daytime, so 20-minute mark is the next time. He can pop it once and then re-pop it. 160 cooldown.
Invisibility.
Where are OpTic going now? They want to go mid lane.
You know what I'm a big hater of? Boots of Travel
Bane.
when you're losing. Yeah, besides Bane. Boots of Travel when you're in a losing game on Ember Spirit. This is the Ember Spirit, same thing he does when he's, let's say, level 6. He just has his more spells maxed out.
Oh, Pajkatt. Looks like he's baiting OG in. JerAx has died in the mid lane. Pajkatt not getting any TP reactions, though. OG have 4 heroes here as they do rip apart that tier 2 mid. They might even think about high ground. They've got Exorcism, Hood Yules on the DP.
Now, this is good for a pick-off, the Boots of Travel. You can TP on Chen creeps, be active. But if they knock on your tier 3s, you're going to be stuck in base with Boots of Travel. That's why I don't like it. Blade Mail is going to be really good this game. Maybe even on Ember Spirit. He also needs that Yule Scepter that I mentioned during the pick phase. That's the item to go for. He needs to get rid of those silences. And there's also Spirit Vessel on Night Stalker. I love what Night Stalker is building. He's going for a Crimson Guard just to mitigate the damage from, just the right-click damage from the gyro in general.
Yeah, it's nice to see that CCnC is kind of the POS 1 in this, right? He is the big farmer. And then you've got these kind of 2 POS 3s or 2.5s, whatever you want to call them. The Night Stalker and the Visage, you bring the utility, you bring a bit of damage, and that control to allow CCnC to get the full utilization out of his spells. Big stack storm there.
I think they're just playing sloppy right now, OpTic. They're getting caught so many times, which delays their push, and their lineup is gonna... Okay, so this is what PPD does. He got caught, they know that Disruptor ulti is down, they want to take a fight. The problem is that OG is splitting them up with the illusions, with the Boots of Travel and Chen creeps.
Taking out the stack as well. JerAx trapped in the shards. Quick TP out. Yule's cancel. Will net them a kill. This Visage, how long do we have on this? Not long. 10 seconds on the Aegis. So nothing really they can do moving forward with it. They need to shove out bottom lane and get towards this tier 2, it feels like. But maybe with Exorcism, they consider going high ground. I just worry about the ultis from OG being a little too strong for them. Song into Static Storm. They've got a BKB now on Gyro, as he does show that off to OpTic in the mid lane. But there's the big item, I think, is the Visage Pipe.
Yeah, they're building all these small items. You have Helm of the Dominator, Medallion, Pipes, almost full Crimson finished on the Night Stalker. They want to end this game, but they can't because their lanes are pushed out all the time. That's why PPD bought back there. They wanted to take the fight. So PPD doesn't even go for XP gain. He went for Spell Amp. That's really unusual.
Interesting.
Because,
Where's this Night Stalker?
Yeah, because if you're playing a Jakiro and your team is winning, your other talents are so much valuable. If you get him to level 20, you buy the next tome as well. Okay, so he buys the tome right now and does not have XP gain talent, which is pretty bad. Once you get to level 20, your items are gonna come from that talent anyway. And if you hit 25 somehow, if this game drags past 60 minutes, the ice pad duration is just a big game changer.
OpTic controlling the map. Mid and top. Shoving in towards OG's base. Holding onto a smoke on Fly's Disruptor here. Looking at S4, he's got the Yule Scepter and moving into Maelstrom now, but at this point, not really a hero that brings a lot of impact to the game. They're going to try and play around the BKB of Gyro, the timing here of this Naga Siren song, but No Tail, he went for a pipe of his own. We saw that earlier picked up. Moving into Arcane's next. This feels so weird.
Yeah, you have these cores, 2 cores on both sides that are going for utility items. Night Stalker that kind of played position 1. Same goes for Naga Siren.
Going to be lacking damage, so they're going to rely on S4 to be that damage dealer. There's No Tail. With Fly and JerAx, they're trying to set up maybe a bait behind the Seb Gyro. OpTic not falling for it, though. They don't really care too much about this bottom tier 2, as long as they've got this shrine positioned that little bit further forward. Instead, they'll go top. There's the stun from the familiar. No chain, though. As S4 jumps back, but he's been scouted. The quick little route from the Siren chains. And another remnant over to the east, but look at where PPD's standing. The ice path perfect in onto S4. No remnants remaining, and the Yule's up will buy some time, but at what cost? As he Siren chains back, but the damage is done. And CCnC arrives just at the right time to grab that XP.
He still bought a lot of time. Gyro is pressuring the bottom tower using the ulti, so this tower is not gonna be defended. They're using the glyph.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Come on then, OG, you want to trade? They've got familiars, they've got pipe, they've got a smoke as well. Pajkatt, PPD, they've got Ob's Ward to go up on the high ground. This vision will prove to be handy as the high ground shovers are coming. Alpha Wolf there behind them. Glyph force this time from OG as the TP start coming back. S4 alive in 10 seconds time. Gyro called down in 15. He used it bottom not long ago. So that big ulti not available here for OG to defend. And the ghosts are going to work on this tier 3. Familiars, one does die. The other lands to heal him back up to full. But this is OpTic really hitting their stride and breaking the high ground 23 minutes in. CCnC, who still has that BKB, doesn't really have a fear in the world. And I think OG feeling a little bit pressured here to move out of their base and get this fight started, but they can't do it. The ghosts now, though, have ended. That's why Pajkatt runs forward to try and zone them back. S4, hello, what's he doing in the back lines? CCnC, he's got the Spirit Siphon and the Silence onto Ember, and S4, he's down to half HP. Limited damage remaining now from OG. Macropie forward, the song, they need it to stop this fight in its tracks, but this is beautiful. Set up in, onto CCnC with a Static Storm with the BKB. Pajkatt moves forward, and the punch. Seb, the heal from the hand of God, but it's not enough. Down he goes, and No Tail will follow immediately after. Splits out the illusions. Which one's real? Oh, it's that one, because the illusions are all dead. Snowball forward in, and S4 will try and buy the space that No Tail needs, but it will not be enough as OG, they're being marauded here. The hordes of OpTic Greenwall heroes charging forward and killing them all off. Europe's hope is dying as the Americans absolutely slaying OG.
Yeah, the way this fight started, they were buying so much time. Even without DP ulti, they can still take the fight because DP did not pop her BKB. Also, they're really tanky with the pipe, with the Crimson Guard. Gyro does not deal any kind of the damage.
Disruptor dies deep in the base. I've got to say, CCnC there, literally living up to his nickname. He could have popped BKB several times when he's standing here on the high ground. I would have been afraid. I'd been like, I'm popping BKB here, boys. I'm going to take these racks. I'm BKBing. But the fact that he held it for the second wave of initiation from OG was really spot on.
There's no burst damage on side of OG, so they can't take him down. He has Hood to pop, he has Yule Scepter, and then he can pop his BKB. Also can use the Silence in defensive matters. The worst part when you're playing a Chen is when you're stuck in your own base. So it feels like you can't do anything. Chen got more buffs over the time, so he can push out the waves and call his summons back. But still, you're not doing what Chen is supposed to do.
And you've lost a full lane of racks.
They want to close this game. Night Stalker bought Vlad's. They just want to tank up. They're buying all these cheap items.
Crimson, Vlad's, Medallion, moving into Ags for the Visage. Tusk has a Medallion himself. OG in the Radiant jungle, nice and snare for JerAx there. keeps himself alive, and S4 is just bailing on this bottom lane.
And the Roche just spawned. That's the second Roche. Cheese and Aegis.
Well, this is going to be the one that maybe helps OpTic close out this game. S4 is getting closer to being a hero, but it's been a big old struggle for him. PPD dodging away. Nice Yule Scepter timing. Let's get out of the homing missile. 26 minutes in. He's pretty farmed for an old Jackie as they catch the gyro. BKB Mask of Madness from Seb is ready, but he's forced to pop it. The trouble is, he can't run. He can't hide. The damage is too significant. He's taken out of the game, and the song comes too late. No tail TP's away. OG without their gyro for a full minute means that this Roshan is guaranteed for OpTic.
I don't think they want to even go for a Roche. They want to yeah, they just want to end the game right now. They have Exorcism level 3. Top lane is pushed out. Bottom lane, they know that Gyro is dead. Ember Spirit, they saw him TPing top. There is one catapult on the bottom lane, but it's going to get cleared. Cleared. Disruptor, he just wants to buy time. Cut the creep wave.
They're trying to dive no tail. They do fall back and focus the objectives, though. I mean, look at how quickly these buildings fall. The cost. Second lane of Rax is a drop in and Fly. He's grabbed the creep wave, but he struggles to clear it, and here comes the TP from Tusk. Is this not going to be fast? Oh, yes it is! Blink forward! Bye-bye, Fly! Tip him. Tip Zai. There we go.
He had the vision from the creeps. There's one set of Raxes left.
Well, the ghosts will end, and this might signal OpTic to back up towards the Roshan. S4 trying something desperate here, but CCnC, he's got BKB Hood and Yules. Close to unkillable with his set of heroes from OG. As Seb arrives, but S4 is going to die, dropping low inside the ice path and cleared up. Snowball in, and Gyro already half HP before he pops his BKB. The send back won't work. Now they're dead forever.
They're just going to go mid. They have a creep wave. Still tier 2 tower on the bottom lane. OG should just call this game. Nothing they can do anymore.
No tail Naga trapped inside the igloo of Zai. Gets himself around the side, but never going to work out for them. He has buyback, but nothing really to accomplish as the tier 4 is dropping, and OpTic looking to close out this best of one and move themselves forward in this competition. Walrus Punch. No tail, no song for a second, and that's his buyback wasted. I think it might be time, OG. 33-17. Visage Familiars now with the Aghanim Scepter up. 3-3 will drop and resummon as the throne. Well, it's dropping. They've got the glyph. They've got backdoor regen, but not for longer as the creeps top lane do shove into this dire base, and the throne is falling. Seb will arrive. BKB Mom ready, but it's too little too late as GG is called, and OpTic along with VP, they move on forward as OG will join the rest of the group stages.
OpTic had a way better draft. Also, this Naga Siren as semi-carry utility, whatever build, I don't think that's working. I think OG needs to work on their draft. Like, this was not the best executed draft from them, but I gotta give credit to OpTic. They played this semi, let's say, cookie cutter strat with a little bit of everything, build all these small items that they're gonna have enough damage to go for the Roche. They could have just went for the second Roche, but they saw the opportunity. The shot calling for PPD is really good.
It was the really a textbook example of, you know, an incremental lead building up slowly and surely from lanes and then snowballing. You know, they get a couple of towers, they get Roshan, the objective taking. You mentioned the calls from PPD. His buyback to defend those Ancients, which were meant to be a comeback for Gyro, completely shut down because of that one Jakiro buyback. And you have to think, OG struggled in every single lane. They tried. I talked about their versatility in the draft and how I like it, but that's when they win. Sometimes the versatility can be a downfall, right? You're thinking about all of these ways. It's an extra layer of logic that you have to follow. Who do we put on what hero and what lane, and who do we pair them with?
Yes, exactly. That's the big problem that I saw in these two games. How are they gonna lane? Every time I see them, they're losing the lanes. So a lot of time they're playing from behind, and you cannot easily come back, especially if enemy team has a snowballing lineup like this. I gotta give credit to CCnC for playing extremely well.
Yeah. Oh, he had some easy lanes, though.
Yeah, I mean, after they swapped, Ember was level 4, and he was level 6.5, almost level 7. So it was an easy lane for him.
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, you see, it's a pretty close game up until like 16, 17 minutes, and it's like, flick the switch, OpTic say thank you very much, OG. So that will be it from us on the B stream, as VP as well as OpTic move straight into the semi-finals. OG will join the rest in the quarters. And you can obviously go and check out the rest of the matches with the elimination matches and the decider matches over on the main stream. But from myself and Lacoste, that will be it for the ESL Birmingham coverage. We're done and done. We had 3 best of ones today. Could have been 9. Would have been exciting. But VP said, nah.
Nah, very good.
Vertus Plow is here. Right, absolutely destroying people.
So that's it from us. It was a pleasure once again, Gary, casting with you. Thank you, ESL, and everyone who was tuning in to listen to our beautiful voices. Stay strong, guys.
Bye-bye.